Hi. Some weeks ago I told you about my PIPA method that I use to improve my street photography. So PIPA stands for Potential, Ideas, Perspective, Alternatives. It's my method that I follow to try to make better photos when I do street photography out there. So I want to get more into detail of these 4 items, and I will start with the first of the PIPA method, which is the word potential. Potential means I go to the city and I discover things and I observe and I really get into detail. I try to perceive things. I try to look for potential situations, for a potential frame, for a potential happening, for a potential light. And all these potentials are what represent the basis before I even start to think about what to photograph. So let's take the example of light. When I walk to the city, often I take the metro, so I see specific light situations. And this means that I already focus on where is the light, where are the subjects, do they form shadows, do they form silhouettes, what can I do with this light, are there colorful things where the light falls onto. You probably have noticed that I love a lot to play with contrast, so I look for these strong light situations and try to get a silhouette or something that is interesting with a lot of contrast. And I put my settings in a way that I am underexposing. Usually I put my settings to even as much as -1, -1.3 in the light compensation mode. And that's a very easy way also to take interesting photos where you can't recognize the people, which often is something good to do in street photography. I also look at architecture. Architecture in big cities is fantastic. You have monuments, you have specific old buildings, you have modern buildings, and you have the situation of light again that interacts with the architecture. Something that really triggers me and where I give a lot of attention to are lines and colors. I see lines everywhere in the city and I see colors everywhere in the city, especially if the sun is shining and some things come out of the darkness, or something really flashy comes out from the darkness, or you have specific lines that are detached through the game of light, or you have specific colors that come out and then there is someone walking in where the colors match. And I also look for patterns on the floor or somewhere, and then I wait for a specific situation where someone walks into my photography. I find a lot of potential also in reflections. I already talked about this in other videos, but reflections are something wonderful in street photography because you can use the big glass surfaces or even bus stations or wherever you find advertisements. These are all wonderful possibilities to play with light and silhouettes and people, because you can work with multiple layers and you can work with double images. And so I think that reflections are one of the big potentials in street photography. Another feature that is often overlooked is weather, like rain, for example, or wind. These are perfect for street photography and they offer a lot of potential. So when it's raining, I really want to go out because people walk around with their umbrellas or they wear these colorful plastic things to protect them from the rain. You see umbrellas flying away, you see hair flying around, and yeah, sometimes the colors may match, and there are so many different things that can happen due to weather, unexpected things, and they offer a wonderful potential. I also look for uncommon things. When I say uncommon, I mean people who are a bit out of normal, who look crazy because they have wonderful haircuts or something colorful they are wearing, or something just strange that happens around you. So you have to develop your sensitivity to see these strange things that happen. Most of all, it's the daily life. It's the idea to find something spectacular or different or interesting in the daily life that surrounds you. So what I do is I walk out and I take my time to just observe and look what people are doing and try to capture this particular moment where things match, or where the very common element can be shown in an uncommon context, and where I put things together, or where people behave in a way that is normal in a way, but on the other hand also interesting. So that's probably the most difficult skill for a street photographer to develop, the capacity to get the normal situation and put it into an interesting context. And yeah, that's where I spend a lot of time with, trying to develop the potential of a normal situation, to detect it and then to do something interesting with it. I also use the potential of minimalistic backgrounds, so that's why I love to take photos on the beach or along the sea, because you have the sea and the sky that offer you this potential beautiful canvas, empty canvas that you can fill with your photography. If you want things to be less complicated, you can focus on dogs. Dogs are a wonderful potential because the animals are fun, but most of all, the people around the animals are fun. So you pretend to take the photo of their dogs, but in fact, you take a photo of them or of the whole context. And that's, to me, it's one of the easier things in street photography. Find the dog, kneel down, really get low, and then try to work out your photo. Another quite simple thing to do is to find big posters in the city. So where you see faces or something with not that many words written on it, then you can try to build your photo around this and wait for people to walk into these big billboards or whatever you can find. So yeah, there are so many ways to use specific potentials. The key thing is you have to find them. You have to be sensitive enough to focus on them. And so it's something to be developed. It's, you walk into the city, you may be overwhelmed with all the things that you see. So what you can do is try to focus on just one thing and try to look only for light, only for shadows, only for colors, only for lines, and then just go for it and play with this potential and develop the potential of something that you discover so that you work out a better photo. And I hope you have fun.